And then we have somebody down there playing with sockets and stuff. Oh, you see my face in the mirror.
Bro, I don't know if you know this, but
Thank you. Thanks for stay tuned for more whippets.
TikTok is illegal.
We're gonna go through some puddles in this thing and hydroplane. See if we can't do some donuts later.
All right, so we are back in the garage. Got a bunch of work to do today. We got a bunch of work to do. So we got to get this motor primed, which is a chore in of itself. I got the little pressure pot from the motor shop that let me borrow that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that filled up with oil and gone through. I gotta look up exactly how to do it, but I think I gotta pull the alternator back out right here because I think I gotta pressurize it through right there. There's a little gallery plug right behind it. So I'm gonna look into that. We're gonna get this thing oiled up. Everything else is pretty much done. Once the oil up is done, I can set her on the ground, and we're on the ground for last time. I think I can roll it off the lift and do the door, the regulator motor and everything. Hopefully today I get the stuff in for the radiator fans because I'm waiting on stuff for that. And that's the last few things. So we'll do that and probably a few other things that I forgot, and we'll see what I show you, and we'll check in as we go. All right, so I've got my oil fill can right there, filled up with some oil. I had to pull the alternator because, of course, I put that on before I needed to. And if you can see up in there, where is it? Focus. Right there is where the plug was I had to pull. So right there is where the plug is we had to pull, and then we put the little adapter in the line and got the line all hooked up. So I'm gonna drop the car down. We're going to pressurize the pot, and we're going to pressurize the motor with oil. And that should prime everything nice and good. And once that's good, I'm gonna pull it back in the air, pull the line back out, plug it, and then I will hook up the cam sensor and the other few little things, put the alternator back on, and we'll be one step closer to fire. All right, so I got roughly 30 PSI on there at the moment. It's coming down. Everything seems to be filling up with oil. I got no leaks, or no massive leaks at least. There's nothing puddling underneath, so, and the tank is definitely getting lighter. So I believe there's oil going in the motor, which is a good sign. So we'll go ahead and get this thing filled up the rest of the way, and then actually put it all back together. From there, we just gotta button up the top side of the motor, a bunch of connections and wires and plugs and some routing we need to work on. We need to work on our routing for our coolant lines and some bleed air, some fuel lines, and a little bit of grounding, I think. And I think that's it. I mean, realistically from there, we waiting on what we need for the fans, and that's about it. So I think at that point we might get into wet sanding and buffing the paint, but I'm really not sure. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this off, and I'll check back in with you once I get some more info. All right, so I got it all primed. Ended up running as much fluid as was in the tank. It started making noise. And then I didn't get to it fast enough the first time. I started hearing air in the motor, so I put a little more oil in it and primed it back through until I first start to hear a little bit of noise in the tank, and I stopped it before I heard anything in the motor. So we should have good prime on the motor, no air in the lines or galleys or whatever you want to call them, and everything should be good. So we're gonna put her back in the air, put the plug back in, put the alternator and all that stuff back together, and then we'll lower back down and start working on the top end of the motor. Look at this pretty goodness. God, these ports look amazing. Like, look down in there, dude. I am super stoked with this. So, finally open them up, get a good look at them. Gonna go ahead and get the intake manifold set on here and everything bolted down. And then we'll go from there. God, that looks good. Alright, so we have made some serious progress. Got all the wiring and plumbing and everything all set up. So our fuel lines are all done. All the wiring on this side of the motor is done aside from the one coil pack. We're still waiting on the, getting a bracket made, which is basically gonna push this all the way to here so that we have room, because right now it's very tight right there. So we're getting that made, but everything else is all wired up and good and done in here. All of the lines are hooked up. We got our catch can, we got all of our breather tubes and relief tubes and radiator lines, and the radiator's full of coolant. We're topped off on power steering. Everything over here is basically just sitting for now because I need the other valve cover, which is with Joe, getting that done. And then I've got all of my plug wires hooked up, but obviously I'm waiting on the valve cover and everything to mount it. And then the last thing will be the intake, which goes right over to there. So realistically, it's pretty much done at this point, as far as I can get it. I need to get somebody over here at some point give me a hand bleeding the clutch to make sure that's good to go. And then I gotta put the window regulator back in, button up a few little things, and she's ready to run. Get her started up and then hopefully get her to the tuner. But all right, so, God, my hair is, whatever. It's the end of the day. I have done a bunch of little stuff. Made a lot of progress, made a lot of backtracking. Super awesome. Love doing things more than once, but the problem with this car is there's an order of operations for things, and it is, well, it's not stock, and there's no way to really remember it if you don't remember it. And it's been a long time since I took this thing apart and put things together. So, things like the radiator fans. So the radiator fans need to go on the radiator before it goes in there, because this one will go in just fine, but that one won't. So I had to take apart the radiator lines to move the radiator forward or back in order to get it in, which made a giant mess. Also, when I put the radiator line on and thermostat housing on, I pinched the thermostat line, so that was leaking, so I had to fix that once too. So I've had the radiator system apart twice since I've filled it. I was able to catch most of it and filter it back and put it back in, clean bucket and all that 9-9, or all that, and all that. But yeah, at this point we are doing pretty much good until we get the parts made by Joe. So we got the radiator fans are set, all the radiator lines are set, all the plumbing's done. Everything's done. I literally just, Wilson came over and helped me bleed the clutch. So the clutch feels great now. We're looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the night. I gotta work tomorrow, so probably make a little progress on this in the afternoon, but actually probably tomorrow afternoon, I won't even work on this. I'll move on to playing with one of the trailers. So not sure where this is gonna land in the video series or not, so I think I'm just gonna start doing an outro every time I talk to the camera. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys checking in and hitting that like and subscribe button, and make sure you guys tell friends and everybody about this. We're gonna start doing some car stuff other than just working on cars. When this thing gets done, we're gonna drive it and we're gonna do some videos, and it's gonna be cool. So, like I said, hit that like and subscribe button, tell people about us, and we'll check you out on the next one.
Just a little bit, whenever he gets here, it's the gas light came on.
So Mr. Dan came through again and made us a custom bracket here to move this over because of clearance issues we have in the Z. So it came with this bracket, which just wasn't enough. It only got us about yay far, which we need to double that. So we're gonna get it put in the car here and we'll see how it looks, and hopefully that'll fix our problem.
I like it. So, just got done bleeding the clutch. Sitting in this car right here. Yep, that thing. Oh yeah. Granberry has not touched this shifter knob yet. It's still in shape. And then we have somebody down there playing with sockets and stuff. Oh, you see my face in the mirror.
Bro, I don't know if you know this, but
Thank you. Thanks for stay tuned for more whippets.
TikTok is illegal.
We're gonna go through some puddles in this thing and hydroplane. See if we can't do some donuts later.